Let's get started, my friends. Let's have all the things that we normally have, right? So a chair, a yoga mat, a pillow, and we'll get started seated in our chair. Okay, so starting seated. Cool. Awesome. And see if you can sit up nice and tall, right? So we feel the feeling of the feet against the floor. If maybe your feet don't touch the floor, maybe you could place your feet on a pillow or a stack of books. But so we have this, we have something to feel against, right? Our feet. Yeah, you can adjust your camera a little bit. And then we also feed our butt, right? Our seat in the chair, giving us that support to maybe sit up a little bit taller. So maybe begin to imagine, right, that your head could reach up a little bit taller, right? And then we could be a little bit broader, a little bit wider through the chest and through the shoulders. And your hands can be wherever your hands would like to be, right? Maybe kind of just hanging out in space, maybe resting on your legs. If it feels okay, you might place one hand on the heart or the chest and one hand on your belly. Yeah. And your eyes can be opened or your eyes can be closed, but I would invite you here to just begin to notice your breath. So breathing in and out through the nose. And as we kind of pause here, right, you might naturally feel the body sort of expand, right, the belly and the chest as you breathe in, and contract as you breathe out. So from here, let's bring both of our hands on the belly if that feels okay. So hands are both kind of low. And let's imagine that we could breathe into the belly. So we call this balloon breathing. So can you take a really big breath in and really expand into your low belly? And as you exhale, release all that air and allow the belly to draw in closer towards the spine. We'll do this a couple more times. So big breath in into the belly, right? Belly expands like a balloon. And as you exhale, releasing all that air. Good. Let's do that one more time. So big breath in, belly gets nice and big. Exhale, release all that air. Good. Now, can we bring our hands to our ribs, to our lungs? Yeah, so kind of like midway up the trunk. Yeah, awesome. Same idea. Can we breathe in and really feel the ribs expand, right? The lungs expand, and as we breathe out, we notice how they draw in towards one another, right? Let's keep doing that. Full breath in, expand into the hands. Here's Abby. I'm going to let her in. And exhale, releasing out all that air. One more time like that. Hi, Abby. Full breath in. Full breath out. Good. Same idea. Now, can we take both hands on the chest, right? Onto our chest. Good. Breathe into your chest. Hands lift. And breathe out. Release all that air. Two more like that. Full breath in. Breathe into your hands, into your chest. Exhale, release. One more time like that. Big breath in. Big breath out. Good. Now release your hands down. Maybe they rest on the thighs if that feels okay. And what I'd like you to do now on our next couple rounds of breath is imagine you could breathe about a third into your low belly, right? A third into your ribs, into your lungs, and a third into the chest. Okay? So take an inhale and fill into the belly, and then fill up into the ribs, and then fill up into the chest, and then open the mouth and let it go. Let's do that two more times. So inhale belly, inhale ribs, inhale chest. Open your mouth, let it go. One more time. Inhale belly, inhale lungs, inhale chest. Open your mouth, let it go. Good. Awesome. So continue to breathe in and out through your nose. If it's helpful to think about breathing into the low belly, into the lungs and the chest, you're welcome to. If maybe that was a little bit confusing, that's okay, right? Just allow your body to breathe here and let's begin to move our body a little bit more. So let's first start at the little muscles of our eyes, okay? So see if you can keep your head facing the same way, but can you turn your eyeballs off over to the right? So over towards the right side of the space, kind of like your periphery vision, right? It's not in front of you, but it's over to the right? What can you see over there? And then turn your eyeballs to face forward. And then turn your eyeballs over to the other direction to the left, right? Our periphery vision over to the left. So the things that you kind of see on the sides of your vision, come back through center. And let's do that again. So turn the eyeballs over to the right, stretching out through the eyeballs, right? And then come back through center. Then do it over to the other side. So over to the left, right? Allowing the eyes to work a little bit different, maybe a little bit harder than they're used to. Come back through center. Good job. Now keep your head facing forward. Can you turn the eyeballs up towards the ceiling? So if you could gaze up above you, but keep the head just as it is. Gaze is forward. And then turn the gaze downward. As you do that, I'm going to let Abby in again. So gazing down towards the feet, but keeping the head where it is. Hi, Abby. We're stretching our eyeballs, okay? So lift the gaze up towards the ceiling, but keep the head just as it is. Then come back through center and turn the eyeballs down towards the floor. Notice what you notice, right? Maybe parts of the toes, the ankles, the feet. Now come back through center. Good. Okay, so now we kind of get a feel for that. Let's turn our whole head over to the right and maybe even back behind you. So you might feel this stretch on the left side of your neck, but see if you can really turn your head over to the right. Then just come back through center so we have a neutral neck. And then turn your head all the way over to the left so far that maybe you're able to kind of gaze back behind you, stretching out the right side of your neck. Come back through center. And let's just do that again. So turn your head over to the right, right? Maybe stretching out this side of the neck, maybe gazing back behind you. Then come back through center, neutral neck. Good. And turn the head over to the left, maybe even back behind you, noticing what you notice. And then come back through center. Now lift the head up, the gaze up, the chin and the nose go up towards the ceiling, stretching out the front of the chest, the front of the neck, and that neutral neck back to center. And then head down, so chin to chest, stretching out the back of the neck here. And we'll come back through center and do that again. So lift your chin, lift your nose, lift your gaze. Yeah, it looks really good, everybody. Gazing up here, notice what you notice up on the ceiling, and then come back through center and turn the head down towards the floor, stretching out the back of the neck, hugging the chin in towards your chest. Now come back through center. Good. From here, let's drop our right ear down towards our right shoulder. So we're spending a little bit extra time on the neck today. Right, if you want a little bit more sensation, you might see what it feels like to allow the left fingertips to hover out. If you try that and that feels like too much, you just lower it down. Wherever you are, stay there. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Now come back through center and then over to the other side. So it's left ear towards your left shoulder. Now either stay or if you like, maybe floating the right fingertips out towards the right side of your space. Now, if you try that and it doesn't feel right or it feels like too much, just lower the hand on down. Take one more inhale. Take one more exhale. And let's come back through center. So a nice neutral neck, as if the crown of the head could reach up higher. Let's bring the hands down so they're floating in space. Good. And then inhale, can you shrug your shoulders up towards your ears? Really lift them up. Good. Exhale, drop them down. Good. Inhale, shrug your shoulders up, up, up. Exhale, let them go. Good. Couple more. Inhale, shrug them up. Yeah, really squeeze them up. Exhale, release. Good. Let's do two more. Inhale, shrug. Exhale, release. Maybe make some noise on that exhale. One more time. Inhale, lift shoulders up towards your ears. Good, everybody. Exhale, release. Good. Okay. Inhale, let's float the arms up. So same kind of motion, but adding on. Excellent. And then exhale, slowly lower your hands on down. Yeah. And if you're here live, let's see if we can time this with our classmates, right? So breathe and float the fingertips upwards. Yeah, so we really feel like we're doing this together, and then breathe out slowly, lower your hands down towards the floor. So good, my friends. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale, float them up as you fill up with fresh air. Exhale, slowly lower fingertips down towards the floor. Good job. Let's do that 1 more time and then we'll add on a little bit, okay? So inhale, float the arms up. And then this time, can you drop your right hand either towards the seat of the chair or the leg of your chair? And then stretch your left arm up and over. Yeah, so side body stretch, right? You might feel this kind of from this hip all the way through the top fingers. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Now press down through the feet. Can you float all the arms up? Both arms up. And then drop the left hand down, either to the seat of the chair or the leg of the chair, and send your right arm up and over. Yeah, take a full breath in and a full breath out. And then float the fingertips back up towards the ceiling. Maybe lift the gaze. So maybe lift the chin, lift the nose to stretch out the front of the throat. And as you exhale, let's come into our open book arms. So we bend our elbows. We keep them lifted up to shoulder height. So it requires a little bit of shoulder work, right? And then from here, let's close our book. So imagine your arms are a book. We're going to close our book, bringing hands and elbows towards one another. Good. And then open your book. Yeah, inhale to open and let's exhale to close. Yeah, elbows together. Inhale, open book. Keep your elbows lifted up. Yes. Exhale, close your book, right? So we're working the shoulder, the upper back a little bit, the chest. Inhale, open book, elbows up to shoulder height. Lift those elbows. Good. Exhale, close your book. Let's do this 2 more times and then we'll add on. Inhale, open your book. Good, everybody. Exhale, close your book. Good. Inhale, open your book. This time, reach for opposite shoulders. Give yourself a hug. So squeeze, hug those shoulders up towards the ears. Good. If you like, you can kind of sway, add a little twist. Yeah, good. And then all we're going to do is straighten the right hand and rest the right hand on the knee. Take this left hand and begin to do a little bit of self-massage. You might start up at the neck or at the shoulder, but eventually working your way all the way down the arm, right? The upper arm, the shoulder, the bicep, down to the elbow. Yeah, there's no right or wrong. There's no rush here. But making our way all the way down to the wrist, maybe even to the fingertips, right? So just kind of making your way here. Yeah, to the palm, to the top of the hand. Yeah. And then just as you feel ready, let's do that on the other side. So in your own time, right? The left hand will rest on the left leg and the right hand begins to massage. And you might start all the way up at the side of the neck, right? Where we spend a lot of time stretching, and then at the shoulder, right? Then eventually working our way down the arm. So just a simple self-massage, right there. There's no right or wrong, good or bad. We're just taking some time here to really feel our bodies, to give a little bit of extra love, a little bit of extra care, maybe making our way all through the fingertips, right? Checking out each fingertip to the nail. Yeah, good. Awesome. Cool. Beautiful. From here, let's warm up through the hands and the wrists a little bit. So give me some soft fists. Make fists with the hands. Yes, you got it, Michael. And then just begin to make circles. And this is where you can begin to play around, right? So they can be kind of small, or you can get your elbows and your shoulders involved. Yeah, Gabriel, you can go really fast, right? You can kind of try them all out, but see if you can move in all directions. Yeah, Vanessa's kind of going one at a time. That's cool too, right? So we can kind of explore. Yeah, I love it. Just working out through the wrists. Beautiful. Good. And then from here, let's flick our fingers. So imagine you've just washed your hands and there's no towel there. So we're trying to get all those little droplets off, flicking the fingers. Yeah. And again, this can be fast. This can be slow. The elbows can be more involved if you want. And then from here, we're going to kind of shake out the hands. So just shaking out the hands and moving them so you can see with that white background. I think that's a little bit easier. Yeah, good. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Release your hands. Let them rest on your legs if that feels comfortable. Now you can stay where you are. I'm just going to turn so you see my profile, so you see the side of me. We're going to come into our cow cats next. So hands can rest on the legs. Inhale, lift the chest up, lift the chin up, lift the gaze up. So I'm arching through the spine. Exhale, round the spine, hug the chin in towards the chest. Think Halloween cat. Yes, good. We're going to continue like that, alternating. Inhale for cow, lifting the chest, lifting the chin, lifting the gaze. Exhale, cat pose, rounding through the spine. Think that Halloween cat, yeah, curling in on yourself. Good. Inhale, cow pose, heart lifts, gaze lifts, throat opens. Exhale, cat pose, rounding through your spine. Yeah, really beautiful. Let's do this a couple more times. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Yeah, so lovely, everybody. Really nice, Olivia. Inhale for cow. Really nice, Brenna. Exhale for cat. Good. Let's come back through center. So sit up nice and tall. If you turn, you can just turn back to where we were before. Again, sit up really tall. So feel really rooted, feet to floor, seat to chair, allowing the spine to sit up taller. And then allow the fingertips to just float alongside the hips, okay? So they're sort of like reaching down towards the floor. We'll do what we did before, but we're going to add on a little bit. So inhale, float the arms all the way up, just like that. Exhale, slowly float your hands down towards the floor. Yeah, beautiful. Isn't it cool to move together? A couple more. Inhale, float your arms up. Good, Abby. Good, Vanessa. Exhale, hands down. Good. Inhale, float your arms up. Good, Sophie. Good, Linda. Exhale, hands down. Okay, one more time and then we'll add on, okay? So inhale, float your arms up. And then this time, let's twist to the right. So left hand comes to the right knee and right hand comes either to the seat of the chair or the back of the chair. And now that we're twisting through our spine, maybe we can really gaze back behind us. So over the right shoulder to feel this deep stretch on the left side of the neck. Take a really big breath in. And a full breath out. Slowly turn back towards me and float the arms all the way up. Take a really big breath in. Exhale, twist other side. And maybe we're able to twist so far that we can gaze back behind us. So over that left shoulder, when we feel the stretch on the right side of the neck. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Now let's come back through center, turn towards me, let the arms be wide. We'll add on one more thing today. Let's come into our open book arms. And then I'd like you to take your right elbow, which is this elbow, and place it underneath your left, right under left, okay? Couple of options here. Hands can stay separated like this, or maybe back of hands begin to touch if that feels okay. Either one is good. What I'd like you to do is find your cow-cats with these arms. So you stay where you are. I'm just going to turn so you can see my back a little bit. Keep your arms as they are. Lift the elbows up, the fingertips up, lift the gaze up. Inhale. And then exhale, find cat, bringing the elbows in closer towards the chest, the belly, or the knees. Good, beautiful. Inhale, lift the elbows, lift the chin, lift the gaze up. Exhale, round the spine and hug the elbows in towards your chest, your belly, or your legs. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round the spine. Beautiful, so awesome. Come back through center. Open your arms wide. Come into your open book arms, so bend your elbows. And this time, left elbow under right. Hands can either be far apart or maybe back of hands touch. Yep, so left elbow under, best you can. Inhale, reach up, gaze up, look up. Exhale, round on down. So just like we did before, but the other elbow's underneath. Inhale, lift up, look up, reach up. Exhale, round in towards yourself. Really good. We'll do this one more time, okay? So inhale, look up, reach up, lift up. Exhale, round down. Beautiful. Come back through center. Release that work in the arms and the shoulders. Good job. Right? So if we remember, we worked out the muscles of the eyeballs. We spent a lot of time stretching the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the wrists, the fingers. Right, so now let's spend a little bit of time on the lower half of the body. So we're going to start with our feet and really awaken through the soles of the feet here. Okay, so all we're going to do to begin with is lift the right heel off the floor and then lower it right back down. So keep the feet connected, lift one heel and then lower. And the hands can be wherever they want. Keep going, lifting the right heel, lowering the right heel, lifting the left heel, and then lowering the left. Good. Keep going at your own pace. You can move fast, you can move slow, right? We're just kind of starting slow. And then as we get a hang of this, we might begin to add on, okay? So from here, can you keep both feet flat on the floor? And then can you keep the heel on the floor and lift the toes? So the toes come up, the heel stays down, and then we plant the right foot, left heel stays down, left toes lift. So I know it's kind of hard to see, lower the foot, keep going, right? Lifting the right toes and then lowering, lifting left toes and then lowering. Good. Keep going at your own pace a little bit longer. See if you can focus on sitting up nice and tall, right? So we're not slouching forward, but we have a nice tall posture. Good adjustments. Good. And then from here, plant your feet. Let's roll to the outer edges of the feet. So kind of like where your pinky toe is. Yeah, you notice that your knees might splay out, right? And then plant your feet and roll to the inner arches, so where the big toe is and your knees might touch again. Right, come back through center, feet plant, roll out, feet plant, and then roll in. Okay, keep going. Plant your feet, roll out, plant your feet, roll in. Yeah, you can even do it with your hands if you like that too. Plant your feet. Let's do that one more time. Roll out. Good. Plant your feet and roll in. Good. Plant your feet and bring your hands wherever's comfortable. Now, can you lift the right foot? Just the right foot? Lower it down. Can you lift your left foot? Lower it down. Okay, we're marching in place. Keep going. Can you lift your right foot? Yep, lower it at your own pace. Lift your left foot. Good. So we're kind of playing around with balance here. Keep moving at your own pace, right? And you might notice that you kind of sway from side to side a little bit. See if you can stay in one place. See if your upper body can stay more or less still as we do this. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, totally, Michael. You can add on your arms, right? Might kind of feel like a toy soldier or something, right? Kind of just slowly marching in place. And if you feel like it, you can speed things up, right? You can move a little bit faster or move a little bit bigger. Yeah. Oh, so cool. I love to see the variety. Yeah, really awesome. Let's do this. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Now plant your feet. Good job. This time, we're going to shift the weight over into our left foot. We're going to keep our left foot grounded. With your both hands, can you scoop up the right foot? Lift the right foot off the floor. Stay sitting up nice and tall. And then let's just twirl through the ankle. Right, so just like we took the time to kind of give attention to the sides of the neck and the eyeballs, maybe the fingers, the wrists, maybe parts of the body that don't get too much love too often, we're also going to do this with the feet and the ankles. So see if you can go both directions, right, to the right and to the left. Good. Beautiful. Can you sit up taller? Yeah, so sitting on the edge of your chair, and then just go ahead and release that foot. And we're gonna switch sides. So scoop up your opposite foot and just twirl the ankle. So just make circles. And these can be fast, they can be slow, they can be big, they can be small, but see if you can move in both directions, right? So clockwise and counterclockwise. Yeah, beautiful. One more inhale. And then exhale, lower the left foot down. Right away, switch on over, right side, lift the right foot up. This time, can you point your toes down like a ballerina, right? Like a dancer, point your toes. And then flex the foot. So toes point up towards the ceiling. Good. Point your toes. I can't see all your feet, but flex your foot. But those that I can see look great. Point the toes and flex. Let's do that one more time. So point, good, and flex. Nice, Michael. Lower your foot, switch sides. Okay, so lift the left foot, same idea. All we're gonna do is point the toes like a dancer and then flex them up towards the ceiling. Keep going. Really nice, Abby. Good. So awesome. Beautiful. Take one more inhale. Exhale, lower that left foot. Okay, we're gonna add on a little bit. Come on over to that first leg. Lift your right foot. This time, can you bring the hands underneath the thigh? Yep, so sit up tall. What would it be like? Can you straighten through that leg? Ooh, can you straighten through that leg? Can you straighten your knee? One more in now. Exhale, lower the foot on down. Other side. So we can begin by bringing the hands underneath the thigh, underneath the upper leg, then lift the foot up. And what would it be like? Can we straighten through that knee? Can we kick the foot forward? Yeah, I know it's hard. Good job. Other side. Hand under the right thigh, lift the right knee. Kick it to see what happens. See what happens. Awesome. Now, can you cross your right ankle over your left thigh? What is this called? What is this, my friend? Yes, this is figure four. This is figure four because if you look down and you have, a bit of imagination, it looks like the number four. Okay. I want you to sit up really tall, right? Yep. Take a really big breath in. As you exhale, keep your long spine, maybe begin to fold forward. So you can stay where you are. Again, I'm just going to turn so you can see this from a different angle, right? You can either stay like this or you can keep your long spine and fold forward. The more you fold, the more intense this stretch will be wherever you're feeling it. Maybe kind of like in the butt, maybe in the low back, maybe in the inner thigh, right? There's lots of places that you might feel this. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Good job. If you're in that fold, let's rise. Assist with your hands and just lower the foot down. Yeah, good. Okay, other side. Hands underneath the thigh. Lift the foot. Let's see what happens. Kick. Can you straighten through that knee? Good. And then figure four. So crossing left ankle over your right thigh, right? It might take a little bit of adjusting. That's okay. And it might be new to some of us too, right? So if you look down, it kind of looks like a number four. That's where the name comes from. Sit up really tall, right? As if someone could pull you up from the crown of the head. Either stay upright or if it feels okay, find a fold. If you fold and it feels like too much, you just come out of it, right? Yeah, nice and open through the chest. Full breath in. Full breath out. Really lovely. If you're in that fold, let's come on up. Yep, use your hands to assist you and just lower the foot down. Good. Yeah, really nice work, everybody. Okay, so from here, I want you to be sitting on the edge of your seat, right? So that you have to use a little bit of your core to support this, right? And from what we're going to do here is find our goddess leg. So heel toe the feet out so they're wider than hip distance, right? If this is hip distance, this is wider, right? You see my heels are in, my toes are out. Let's come into our goddess arms or our open book arms. Remember, elbows up, right? It requires us to work our chest, our shoulders a little bit, right? Yeah. Abby, can you lift your elbows up a little bit higher? Yeah, there you go. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. From here, can we tilt over to the right? Yeah. And can you drop your right elbow down? Uh-huh. And then can you reach your left arm over your left ear? Beautiful. This is called temple pose. Yeah. See if you can straighten through that top arm. So really reach through the top fingertips. Good, Olivia. Nice adjustment. And then use your strong legs, your strong core. Come back up to our goddess pose, also called horse pose. Can you tilt over to the left? Uh-huh. Left elbow down and then reach the top arm out as if you're trying to grab something that's just out of reach, right? So really straighten through the elbow. Good. Come back through center, lift the elbows up. Yeah, beautiful. From here, take a full breath in. Exhale, let's close our book. So just coming back to something familiar. Good. Inhale, open your book, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, close your book. One more time. Inhale, open your book. Exhale, close your book. Good. From here, release the arms down. Bring the feet in closer towards one another. From here, reach your arms forward. Now, this is a bit of a challenge, right? So we'll see how we do. Can you reach forward with the fingertips? Reach, reach, reach. Begin to lean forward until you just have to stand up. Ooh, and then we stand, right? So if that was challenging, right, that's okay. But we're going to come to our standing portion of class, okay? So you might want to move your chair over to the side. I always do recommend having it nearby so that there's something to hang on to. Now, it's also a really great break to get a sip of water, right? If you're thirsty, feel free to grab some water. Know that you're always able, of course, to drink water. You never need to wait for permission, but now is just a good time to do that, okay? So from here, we're going to practice standing, okay? So I want you to imagine in your mind if there's a kind of tree that you really like, a tree that's really stable, a tree that's really sturdy. I'd like you to bring that to your imagination and feel as if you could embody that tree, as if you could be that tree, right? So that we begin to have this root system underneath the soles of our feet, right? That come all the way up into our legs, and our legs become these really sturdy tree trunks, right? Yeah, awesome. Okay. From here, bring your arms out for a little bit extra support. And all we're going to do is lift the right foot and lower it. And then lift the left foot and lower it. We're marching in place. That's all we're doing. Yeah, cool. Now, what would it be like to march in place, but instead of really tilting a lot from side to side, to be more or less stable, right? To not move so much. Yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. All right, my friends. So from here, can you shift the weight into your left foot, lift the right foot, and stay? Uh-huh. Your hand can always come down to the chair. Look at that. What would happen if you lift this top arm up? Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. All right. Yes. Super impressed with you all. Take one more inhale. Exhale, shake it out. Shake it out, lower it down. Okay. If you like, turn yourself around and or turn your chair around. We're just going to try that on the other side. So let's begin marching in place. right? At your own pace, lifting one foot and then the other, lifting one foot and the other, just marching in place. So we sort of get this sense of what it feels like just for a moment to lift a foot. And then what would it be like to lift the left foot and keep it lifted? Mm-hmm. Extra support. This right hand can always find the chair, can find a piece of furniture. Maybe lifting this other arm overhead. Yes. Imagine that we have that root system like that strong, sturdy tree. Take one more inhale. Exhale, foot down, shake it out. Shake it out as needed. Good. All right, turn yourself around and or turn your chair around. We're going to come back to the first side. Yeah, this seems helpful, right? To kind of march in place and then balance. Maybe that's the way to do it. I'll get your feedback after class. Arms out. Same idea. Let's march in place. March in place. So, right, we can either stay marching in place or shift the weight to the left foot, lift the right foot. Remember, this hand can always find find the chair. Can we open up this knee and then bring the foot in, tree pose? So now, can we really begin to embody that sturdy tree? Maybe one arm comes up. Maybe the other arm comes up. Yeah, love that, right? Or maybe you are a little bit more of a flowing tree, right? Maybe you're like a weeping willow on a spring day, right? And maybe there's a little bit more fluidity, right? That requires you to work this standing leg a little bit more. Yes, I love all these trees. They look so awesome. Take one more inhale. Exhale, foot down, shake it out. Good job. Good job. Yeah, really nice. Okay, turn yourself around and or the chair around. Good. Yeah. All right, and we're going to begin marching in place, right? Arms can come out for a little bit more support. March in place, right? So this is step one. You can always stay in step one or shift the weight to the right foot, lift the left foot. This right hand can find your chair. Can you open the left knee towards the left and then bring the foot down towards the ankle or the floor? This is when you imagine your tree, right? Are you a flowing tree? Or are you a sturdy, still tree, right? Are you a big tree? Or are you maybe a smaller, newer tree, right? Yeah, you get to decide. That's what's so cool. Yes, I love it. If you fall out of it, just use it as an opportunity to try again, right? Because so often, right, that happens in life and we just have to pick ourselves up and try again. Take one more inhale. Exhale, shake it out, feet down. Good job. All right. Okay, I've got my eye on the time. Time is going by fast. Let's come down to our mat. So we can move our chair off to the side. We don't need it for right now. We may come back to it. And then we'll meet in our tabletop pose, which is hands and knees. This is when it might be nice to have a yoga mat, if not a yoga mat, like a carpet or something versus a hard floor. Okay, so I want you to imagine like a coffee table, a dining room table. Okay, so the knees are more or less under the hips, and the hands are a little bit forward in front of the shoulders so we can take out some of the pressure out of the wrists and the hands. And then you remember those cow cats? We're going to come back to those, but in all fours. If you're in your chair, you can continue to do this in your chair, okay? So inhale for cow. Lift the gaze, drop the belly, lift the tailbone. Exhale, cat pose. Think you're Halloween cat. So round through the back body, hug the chin in towards the chest. Inhale, cow pose. Right, heart lifts, gaze lifts, tail lifts. Exhale, cat pose. Think you're Halloween cat. Beautiful. Couple more. Inhale, cow pose. Lift your gaze, lift your tail, drop your belly. Exhale, cat pose. Round through your spine. Let's do this one more time. Breathe in for cow. Breathe out for cat. Beautiful. Come back to table pose. Let's throw in a challenge pose, right? Can you extend one leg out, tuck the toes under, stretch out through that leg? And then step the other foot back. We're in plank pose. I know some of you know this from specialty athletic training, okay? Now lower your knees. You'll notice that you're in an extended table pose, so a little bit longer. Bend your elbows, slowly lower to the floor. Best you can, slither down like a snake. Good. Belly down, forehead down. Yeah, the legs are long back behind you, and the hands are by your shoulders. Get really strong in your legs. So, can you squeeze the muscles together, squeeze the butt? And as you inhale, can you hover the chest and that face off the floor? This is called cobra. So, a little baby back bend. Cobra is a type of snake, if that's helpful to think about. And then exhale, lower the forehead right back down towards the floor. Couple more. Inhale, lift your heart. So think like a slithering snake, lifting up, looking up. And then exhale, lower the forehead right back down. Really good. We'll do that 2 more times. This is good for strengthening the back. So inhale, lift the heart. Exhale to release. And then 1 more time, okay? So inhale, lift your heart up, baby cobra, slither up. Good. Exhale, slither down. Let's come into our crocodile pose, which is where we make a little pillow for the forehead, either with the hands or with the forearms. And this is more of a resting pose. So if you're still squeezing the muscles of the legs of the butt, you can allow that to release. And you can either stay still, or sometimes it feels nice to kind of shake the hips from side to side, or maybe to bend the knees and kind of imagine the lower legs like windshield wipers in the car. So swaying from right to left and left to right, maybe even working out, circling through the ankles. Yeah, awesome. And then from here, see if you can keep your head down. Can you bend your left knee and hug the left heel in towards your left glute as hard as you can? So really squeeze the left glute. You might feel this work in the hamstring, so in the upper leg. Either stay here if it feels okay, reach back with the left hand, and if you can, grab that foot and hug the heel in closer to the body for a quad stretch. If you reach for the foot and it's not accessible, that's okay too. It's more of a strengthening in that version, right? So working on building the muscle in the hamstring. Wherever you are, take 1 more inhale. Exhale, straighten through the left leg. And try it on the other side. So can you bend your right knee? Really squeeze the right foot in towards the right glute. Good. Now either stay here, or if you like, you can reach back with your right hand. If the foot or the leg is accessible, you can grab it and hug it in. If it's not accessible, keep reaching back, right? Working on strengthening through the leg, through the chest. Yeah, really lovely. Wherever you are, take 1 more inhale. Exhale, gently release. Let's come into child's pose. So draw the hands by the shoulders, press up to all fours, table pose. And then widen the knees out. So they're wider than hip width distance. If you're on a yoga mat, you can find the width of your mat. And then from here, send the hips back towards the heels, the forehead towards the floor. Couple of options here. If you want a little bit more stretch in the chest, you can really begin to walk the fingertips forward in front of you. Have this be really active. Right, if you want this to be a little bit softer, more of a rest, you can just allow the elbows to find the floor. Maybe even the hands underneath the forehead. You can stay still, or you can sway the hips from side to side, rock the forehead from side to side. Take 1 more inhale. And 1 more exhale. Slowly, let's begin to press up to table pose, hands and knees. Good, and then all we're gonna do is take a seat here. So any way you can, just take a seat. Good. And if you're seated on the floor, see if you can straighten the legs out long in front of you. If you're in your chair, that's great, that's fine. You can just stay there. From here, let's see if we can use both hands, bend the left knee, and plant the left foot on the floor. Mhm. So bend your left knee. I know it's hard to see. This left leg is bent. Then from here, what we're going to do is step the left foot over the right leg. Sit up really tall. Spine is really long. Yep. Left hand back behind your left hip. Reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Yep. Really reach as if you're trying to grab something on the ceiling. Take a full breath in. Exhale, twist to the left. So if you're in your chair, simply twist towards the left. Maybe once again, feeling as if we could gaze back behind us, so over the left shoulder. Yeah, awesome. Looks so good, everybody. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Find that neutral neck, neutral spine. If you're on the floor with legs bent, use your hands. Support this by just simply straightening out through the left leg. Then we'll use both hands. Bend the right knee, plant the right foot. You got it. Sit up tall. Yes, step your right foot over your left leg. Okay, whether you're on the floor or in a chair, right hand back behind you. Left arm reaches up, and I want you to really reach for something on the ceiling. So, really energize that arm. Take a full breath in. Exhale, twist to the right this time. If you're seated, you can hug this bent knee in towards the body. If you're seated on your chair, you can just bring the hand onto the knee. Right? Maybe gazing back behind you if that feels okay on the neck. Right now that we've worked the entire body, maybe there's a little bit more space or a little bit more mobility to see a little bit further back behind us. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. And then just come back through center if you're in that fold. Use both hands really carefully. Straighten out through both legs. Okay. From here, if you're on the floor, let's grab our chair one more time. We're going to transition into restorative yoga, which is really, really gentle. So grab your pillow if you don't have it nearby already, and you can place your chair on your mat. Here's another good opportunity to grab a sip of water if you're a little bit thirsty. And then just make your way back down onto the floor if that feels okay. So we're going to end today in what is called legs up the chair. If you've done yoga before, you may have heard it as legs up the wall. I like to use a chair, it makes it a little bit more accessible. So we're going to lay on the floor, right? So spine on the floor, knees bent, feet resting on the chair. Okay? Yeah. Or a piece of furniture or a couch, doesn't matter. The pillow is optional, and I'll tell you where you might want to use the pillow. So sometimes it can feel nice to have a little bit of pressure on the belly, on the abdomen. So maybe taking that pillow and just allowing it to rest on the chest and or the belly. Right? If you feel like you'd like a little bit extra support underneath the neck and or something a little bit softer underneath the head, especially if maybe you're on a firmer surface, you can just use it like a pillow, kind of like in bed, right back behind the head. And then from here, if it feels okay, you might allow the hands to rest on your body. So like we started, right, they might be at the low belly and or the ribs and or the chest. You can kind of play around with that placement. If you don't like that, you can always allow the hands to rest beside you. Your eyes can be opened or your eyes can be closed here. And from here, I'd invite you just to bring your attention back to your breath. So just notice what your breath is like. Maybe placing a hand on the part of your body where you feel it the most, whether it's the chest, the belly, the nose, the throat, the lungs. Just allowing your breath to be really fluid and free. Sometimes it's helpful for me to kind of think about waves crashing on the sand or clouds moving in the sky. Right? They move at their own pace, but they're never stuck. Even if the movement is slow, it's still fluid, still easy. So, doing whatever you need to do here in order for your breath to feel like that, in order for your breath to feel easy and fluid and free. When you can keep your attention on the breath if that's helpful, or if you prefer, you might bring your attention to the parts of the body that are touching another surface. So maybe it's the back of the legs touching the piece of furniture, the chair or the couch, right? Maybe it's the spine against the floor or the yoga mat. Maybe if you have that pillow resting on the trunk of your body, it's that. Just taking a couple moments here to really honor the transition from all of our movement to a bit more stillness, allowing all of the benefits of our time here together in virtual community, right? Moving together, breathing together. For some of us, trying new things, right? Allowing that to just settle into the body, into the mind. Feeling really supported by our props, by the floor. If you have your legs up on a chair or a piece of furniture, I'd invite you to bend the knees even more and hug them in towards the chest. So, really hugging them in as far as you can. You might feel kind of like stretching of the low back or a flattening of the low back as you do this. And then really simply reach one arm overhead, doesn't matter which one, and then roll off onto that side. So I lifted my left arm and then I'm rolling onto my left side, resting my head on my arm. And this is our seedling posture. So I always like to imagine, right, that it's springtime. So we're all little seeds under the soil, waiting for all of the sunshine and the nutrients and the rain, right? Before we can spring to life and poke our heads out above the soil. So as you feel ready, just begin to rise on up and take a seat. You can either get back in your chair or you can stay seated on the floor. Either one is good with me, just whatever you prefer. And we'll finish our class together facing forward. We'll close and then I'll turn off the recording and there'll be a couple minutes to chat if anyone wants to chat, ask any questions. But let's see if we can sit up nice and tall one last time together. Right? So the spine is really long, the chest is really open, right? Yeah. And then if it feels okay, one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. So we close with that same connection to ourselves, that same connection to our body. Eyes can be opened or eyes can be closed, but one last time as a group, can we take a really big breath in? Open your mouth and let it go. Good. Take another moment here, please, to acknowledge all of your efforts, your mental efforts, your physical efforts, and whatever else it took you to get you here today. All right. Thank you all so, so much. So wonderful to be here with you.